Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Righto, this reading is going to be a little bit different. Love all your comments, keep them coming, so much to read on. But what I wanted to do is take this opportunity to actually, first of all, chew on some humble pie, but also do a bit of a tarot lesson as well, because I know quite a number of you read along at the same time. So, what I want to do is I'm going to go back and revisit a couple of readings I did last week. The first one I'm going to do is Biden. Is Biden the nominee? And then I'm going to have a look at Biden and the dissenters as well. So I'll pause you in between while I get the cards sorted out. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I did the reading a particular way, and after watching Marianne last night, and also Andre as well, Andre from used to be Astrology Alert, and I can't think Proactive Astrology, I think he's called now. Both of them were talking about the fact that they had seen and hinted at Biden stepping down, the backlash that they received from such. But the fact that they had actually read that. Now, me personally, I sort of did glimmer in the cards, but the human side. So, my guides, if you hear my guides, I'm being told by Meister. Meister is Gaelic for master as well as teacher. He's telling me that I have to do this video. So I did not have the kahunas, the gumption, the gonads, whatever you like to call it, to call the cards and what the guides were telling me as it was on that particular day. I am not excusing myself. I am not doubling down. I am using this as a lesson to be a teacher. Now, I'm just going to say I also did something similar when I read on Roe versus Wade forever back. They were horrific cards when I read on Roe versus Wade. It was the death card. It was the Wheel of Fortune. It was the World card, endings. It was the Tower card from memory. It was a horrific reading. But my bias, I was an even younger reader in those days. My bias came through in spades. And I ended up deleting that reading because everything said that Roe versus Wade was going to be overturned, but my personal um, disbelief that they could actually have the audacity to do so refused me to read the cards. So this is humble pie lesson day. So come on down. So what I'm going to do, I've got the cards sorted here for the first two, and then I'll put them all back, pause you, and pull out the cards for the dissenters. So this was my Will Biden get the nomination? And let's have a look. If I had read this correctly, so I am putting this out there because it is a really important lesson for me, being reminded again, but also for those out there who need to hear this lesson. So the first card I got, the first card was the signifier card, the Four of Wands card. Now, remembering this is the energies of last week. This is being entrapped by the messaging that's out there, can also be in consultation with the family, but finding oneself entrapped by the messaging that's out there. It was then challenged by the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is the restriction, being restricted, entrapped, confined, etc. So that was the challenge for Joe Biden. At the base, we had the Ace of Swords. This is a truth realization. The sword has been drawn from the sheath. A truth realization, but you've also got the dove of peace, the dove of truth there as well. It is about a new start, a new beginning in regards to these swords. In the past, we had for Joe his circle of support, his beautiful wife, Dr. Jill, his sister, who I believe has been a stalwart at his side. for decades and decades, ever since he lost his first wife and beforehand, possibly his daughter as well, possibly Kamala Harris. Now, if I pronounce it incorrectly to your ear, just blame it on the accent. But this is, about the women in his life who are incredibly supportive of him in the past. So this is very much about they will back whatever decision he makes. But crowning this reading, we then had the female energy come forward, bringing forward the Ace of Wands, the new message, the new plan, the inspirational female coming forth. So who's an articulate orator as well, but is inspirational to many. The immediate future, now remembering this was last week, retreat, withdraw in the face of this sword energy here. So this really should have given me a slap upside of the head. I think I did, but I just ignored it. About he's also got COVID, so he's in ill health, but that's no excuse. This is the retreat card, the withdrawal from the presidential race, from being the nominee. However, externally, we had a decision that needed to be made, a crossroads moment in regards to the new plan, the new message. So again, should have been highlighted for me, and I think it was, but the human side got in the way. Was about externally. A decision needed to be made about a new path forward, a new plan. Okay, and then we had internally discussions going on. This is very much about agreements, partnerships, but I'm really getting more deep and meaningful discussions going on, and I suspect internally that was between Joe and Kamala. Now, I know that she said she was surprised, but he would have given her a heads up before it actually happened, a couple of days before it happened. So I'm getting that this was the internal discussions, and here we have the hopes and fears, the powerful new being brought forward, and feminine energy. Absolutely. Love it. The powerful new female energy being brought forward. The outcome, the overwhelming emotion. Absolutely. Boy, oh boy, didn't we all feel like we had been stabbed in the back and betrayed? But after sleeping on it for a couple of nights, if you're like me, you go, my goodness, I actually feel incredibly excited and invigorated. So an emotional new beginning, emotionally overwhelming, very much so. And here is the offer being made with the Knight of Cups and the best of democracy. The offer being made, being put forward, the rising star. The offer of putting forward the rising star, Kamala Harris. And then if I kept going on the base, we had the Chariot, the moving on, the Ace of Pentacles, a powerful new opportunity, and then Temperance. So I absolutely, when I look back on those cards and listening to Marianne giving me, well, I won't say she was giving me confidence, but it was very much about giving me a reminder of don't be afraid to tell what is really happening. Don't let the human 3D side of me get in the way of the message that needs to be conveyed. Love it. Okay, entertainment only. Now I'm just going to pause you for a second while I get the cards in order for the next bit, which was, again, it was still Biden nominee, but then I did a 3-2-1. So just hold on a moment. Oh, back again. So this was the 3-2-1. This was me going, just verify it for me, guys. And these are the cards I got. So again, reinforcing that there was a change afoot. It wasn't solidly formed at that stage, but I don't think I voiced any might happen type thing. So come on down and let's have a look. So and when I did the 3-2-1, we had the Hanged Man as the first card out. Now, if I remember correctly, this was upside down. Now, I don't usually read upside down, so I think I may have just put it back, but I'm just going to say the Hanged Man, things being stopped, things being suspended. Because it was upside down, it may have been that there was still a decision to be made about the suspension. We then had the Four of Wands finding himself entrapped by the messaging, consulting with the family, and then the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel of change, the wheel of it's time for the wheel to turn and change to come about. Then we had the King of Wands, the authority figure bringing forward a new message of a new plan, judgment, so an inevitability in regards to this, but also a collective awakening of this inevitability. And then we had the Six of Swords, the moving on card. So again, not incredibly powerful, no tower moment, no world card, nothing of that effect, but the indicators were all there. So, learning lesson. Now, I might just very quickly pause you again and then I'll pull out the cards for the dissenters because, again, it reinforced this message. So hold on for a couple of moments. I'll be back. Okay, back again. So this was the cards I drew on the dissenters. Again, looking from hindsight, different point of view. Yeah, the guides had it right. Sometimes the messenger touches the hot stove and chooses not to go any further. So I'm going to bring you down, and again, we'll have a look at how those cards fell and what they meant in hindsight. So come on down, let's have a look. Great lessons to be learned here. So the first card I had out was, oops, sorry, my bad. It was the Hierophant, not the Emperor. Just pause you for 2 seconds. I'm still fallible. Okay, come on down. Yeah, the first card, as I looked at my notes, the first one was the Hierophant. The higher authorities, the government, the president, the presidential position. And it was challenged by the Hanged Man, being stopped, being stalled. So this was the dissidents. The running for the president was stopped due to, I'm going to say due to the moneyed factions, but let's not hold that against them right now. At the moment, it is very much vote Democrat, vote blue, up and down your ticket, and any grudges that we feel we can deal with afterwards when we actually still have a vote. If we need to get the Democratic Party in, the Dems in first, and then we can worry about dealing with the rabble. So yeah, being paused, being stopped by the moneyed element. Now, also noticing that since Harris has announced, goodness me, what is it, another 50, 60, 70 million has been raised from small donors, bringing it up to sort of 80, 90, 100 million, all within a couple of days. But this was, yeah, very much the presidential run being halted by withholding money. Okay, at the base, we had the Nine of Wands, the surrender card, back up against the wall of messaging and surrendering. So, yeah, this was Biden versus the dissidents, and there was Biden himself in the past. So, again, the cards were all there. It was just the human getting in the way. The crowning of this reading, in this particular reading, was the Queen of Cups, the feminine energy coming forward, equivalent to the King of Cups, but female energy rather than male. It's also internal, whereas kings are external. They're both emotionally stable, powerful in their own right. But this is more of a community compassion and it not yet being revealed. So I would say even at this stage there were discussions going on behind the scenes, but as all of it should have been done behind the scenes, but let's not go there, between Joe and Kamala. Okay. The immediate future in regards to Biden versus the distance was the King of Swords. So this was bringing forth of a truth, of a reality, and cutting through. Externally, Tower moment, tearing down the existing structure so it could be rebuilt again. Externally, Tower moment. This was literally exploding the crown off the top so that something new can be brought in its place. And internally, we had the articulate orator, but this is also discussions underway, new plans being formulated, new discussions, etc. So that was internally. This was what was happening behind the scenes. The hopes and fears, a new beginning, new powerful beginning, new opportunity, perhaps a fear, but also very much a hope, bringing forth something, a really powerful new beginning, but also big money donors. Now, sadly, that's at the moment, that is what politics is in the US, and you've got to play the game with the rules that are in place at the time. Once you win the game, the rules can always be changed, but need to play the game with the rules at the time. The outcome, again, was Ace of Wands, new start, new message, new plan with this Queen of Cups. Something unexpected out of left field absolutely caught us all by surprise because literally the day before Joe just announced that he was stepping aside, he had said he's not stepping aside. So yeah, it was unexpected. And then we had the Page of Pentacles bringing forth this Ace of Pentacles, this new opportunity. It's the beginning of the new opportunity, the new start. And if I go toward the bottom, we've got, the Ten of Swords, absolutely. Prone and stabbed in the back, end of a cycle. Yes, and we feel it, we felt it, and we still feel it incredibly painfully for Joe Biden. He did not deserve to go this way, but boy, oh boy, hasn't he shown how it's done with dignity? And I think he's very comfortable with his position. For the announcement that was made. He's comfortable. It wasn't on his terms, but he's made it on his terms. And to be honest, in 6 months' time, he can hop in that Corvette with Dr. Jill in the passenger seat and Commander sitting in the back, and they have a freedom that they don't have at the moment. And he can then retire and enjoy his final years. Now, he's not going to fully retire, as per my reading yesterday. I do see there's some positions going to be on offer for him. He's literally going to be able to pick and choose, is what I feel. So he's going to remain as a mentor. He's also still got 6 months to go as a president that basically has immunity. So I'm going to read on that in a minute. But yeah, stabbed in the back, emotionally overwhelming for him as well as us, but also a cleansing and a new start. A decision had to be made, still has to be made. Kamala isn't the elective nominee yet, candidate yet until the DNC, but yes, this is very much about what ship to bring into port. A decision need to be made, taking the high ground and defending himself. But emotionally, he was devastated. Absolutely. But the two still the two cups standing here, and the tree in the background is full of, well, probably they're fireflies, but freedom and light and all that is beautiful. So I'm just going to leave that there. I just want to give a thank you to Marianne, and to Meister for giving me a little bit of a kick up the backside. On behalf of Meister, it was a bit more than a little kick up the backside, but to really emphasize that it's okay. Take the barrage when it comes, don't shoot the messenger, but it's very much about not chickening out. I'm just putting it out there. Not chickening out from the human side of putting through, putting forward what the cards and spirits are actually trying to get through. No, I'm going to leave that there. Great learning lesson. Hopefully you guys get something out of it as well. But love to you all, and I'll see you in a moment. Bye-bye.